Hello everybody, Iain Robson here. Welcome back to American Truck Simulator. Today we're taking a look at the Peterbilt 389 by SCS this time, not a modded version, which I'm really happy to see that the 389 has made its way into the game as a base truck basically, which is really nice because before it was you could only get it as a modded truck, but now it's part of the base truck. So hopefully any of the modded ones that are built on this will be really good and really solid and error free. So before I was using the Viper edition, and now I'm using this is the in-game one for now. So as you can see, you have some options, the steering wheels, you can do whatever you like, you have the steering knobs there. You have the outside features. You have a whole bunch of stuff you can set up whichever way you feel like. This is how I set up right now. Low roof sleeper, 300-gallon tank. This is the base engines that come with it. So I have a Cummins ISX 115, Eaton Fuller 18-speed, and I don't want the retarder. Can I have that option? No, apparently. Oh, there it is. 18-speed. And interior, I have the Ultra Ride, dark red metallic. Of course, you can always go for Optimus Prime if you want to. You can fiddle around with the outside, change the tires, whatever you like. But this is how I have it set up right now. So let's go ahead and do a run with this particular truck. Let's do an external contract. And the reason why I say external contracts is because they recently added a bunch of new achievements associated with this, so it's going to be kind of neat. Let's go for what do we got here? These are all from Fresno. What do we have? Nope. These are all based on price per distance. Well, I might as well go for something that's worthwhile then. Let's go for this FedEx. We'll take the Fireworks here, which is 840 kilometers. Of course, I have the Mexican, Canada, US map. I'm going to go ahead and start this delivery. Now, they may have changed this. I don't know. But last time I did an external delivery, they didn't take you automatically to the location. It looks like they still don't. Okay, that's fine. Go ahead and fire up our truck here. We're super close anyways. I'll just drop the engine sounds here. So that's what this sounds like in general. Let's go ahead and put the speed up there. Not too bad actually. Not too bad at all. Let's go ahead, make the turn here. Oh, that was totally the wrong direction. Sounds pretty good actually. Yeah, it sounds pretty good actually. Nice. Very nice. Well, that's engine brakes sound pretty good too. We're gonna make this turn here so we can actually get back to where we're supposed to be going here, because of course it is a timed delivery. So with external contracts, of course, the way it's set up is you have 24 hours in real time to get there. So let me get to this place and I'll be back in a sec. Alright, so we made it to our location. Just going to go ahead and grab that trailer. So I do have the advanced coupling on, so we'll see how that goes. It's been a while since I played this game, so it should be kind of interesting. Let's see. I'm a bit off, just by a smidge. Alright, let's go ahead and straighten out here a little bit. Not in that direction, mind you, but that's fine. So of course the key here is, at least what I've discovered, is to try and line up your tires with the legs that come down. So that's how I've kind of gauged it. So I always try to make sure they're on the inside. So there you go. That was pretty good actually. That was a little too good, honestly. It's pretty rare that I get it that good. Alright. I like the gauges. Alright. There we go. Take the flashers off there. Very nice. Very nice. That's a long trailer, man. Holy smokes. Let's do a quick little trailer check here. Alright. Trailer brakes are good too. Yep. Excellent. And of course I stalled my truck. There we go. So of course I only have a 550 horsepower engine in here, so I have to be a bit careful with this, that I don't get too excited and install too often. Not like that's never happened before, eh? Alright, go. We're gonna go after this car here. There we go. Floating gears isn't too bad actually on this. Once you realize where the appropriate place is, it's not so bad. Alright, we're making a right turn up here, so I don't know, so far I like it on the inside. It actually feels a bit dark on the inside. I'm used to the red glow of the Viper 389, but so far it's pretty solid. So I like what I see. This is our turn up here. There we go. We'll listen to the engine brake momentarily. There we go. And I think you can actually adjust the steering wheel too. That is one of the options now that they added in the game, of course. I don't know what I hit there. Must have been the other car. Sorry. Excellent. Yeah, so one of the adjustments, of course, is you can adjust the steering wheel as you see fit. So, for example, what I mean by that is you can adjust how the tilt of the steering wheel. I think it's in F4, I want to say it is. Yes, there it is. So if you want to adjust the steering wheel down, which is actually kind of nice, because what I find often is I can't see the dials sometimes. So it's nice to be able to do that. So if you want to be able to see the dials a bit better that I've actually hidden now, you can do that. There. I guess you really only need to see... That's probably good. But it just depends on what your point of view is, I guess. Alright. Oops. I don't want this. I want that. There we go. Put it back into first gear here. I don't know. So far, I'm pretty pleased. I'm pretty pleased with this. It looks pretty solid. I like the way it looks, I like the way it sounds. It is pretty good all around, actually, so pleasantly surprised. Yeah, definitely looks nice. And it's nice because you can have this in-game, of course, in the multiplayer as well. So if you're playing a little bit of that, you can, of course, use this truck, which is pretty slick, actually. Very nice. Yeah, I don't know. Overall good. I'll have to mess around with it a bit longer. Of course, just doing one run with it's not going to be enough to get a good feeling for the truck itself, but it'll give you an idea at least. There we go. And this is a pretty standard truck actually in North America at least. You tend to see a lot of 389s. You tend to see a lot of some of the newer ones, of course, you see as well. I don't know. I find like the 589's got a lot more character than some of the newer styles. At least in my opinion. Are we going too fast? No, we're good. I thought we were speeding there a little bit too much, but we are going to be. That's the engine brake there, in case you're wondering. And that guy just happened to make a quick, sudden stop, which made it not so much fun. All right, let's go ahead and make the turn here. There we go. It's a long trailer too. Put some jazz music on here. There we go. Nice. The engine does sound good too. So I took off all my other mods just so I could hear and see what the base engine sounds like, and because unfortunately what happens is if you have mods and you don't realize what the base sounds are actually sometimes. At least it's been my experience. 90. Go for 95. Toggle the, not the cruise control, but toggle the engine brake on there. But it looks pretty good. They did a good job with it. I think they had it for a while. It's just a question of having the rights to be able to use it and whatnot. So That's always the case. Like, it's strange that they have the other Peterbilt, but didn't have this one initially, so... I don't know, they can only do so much, though. SCS is a pretty small team. It would have been nice, actually, to... It would have been nice to actually have this right from the get-go, but... That's the way it works sometimes. You can't have everything. Sometimes you can only have, you know, part of it. And it really comes down to just licensing. They probably had the model like ready to go for a long time, and just a question of having the right modeling, or not modeling, licensing, sorry. But it is one of those things that you need to be careful of in the world of video games. It's the same thing for everything, right? So like whether you're playing farm sim, or whether you're playing this game, whatever it happens to be, like you really have to be aware of all the possibilities and all the problems you could run into as well. Same thing with music, of course. So like this is YouTube music in this case, so that's the reason why I have no problem playing it, because it's from the YouTube audio library. You don't need to give them any kind of you don't need to put the listed name of the song or anything like that. Sometimes you do have to put the name of the song in the description of the video, but not always. Not always. Nice little vineyard there. Now, with the external contracts, one thing to note is that you can only do it with, I think it's only in the base game. So like only Arizona, Nevada, California, those only 3 states you could do the external contracts on. Whereas I actually, on the map itself, I have like Canada, like all of Canada available as well, so. And that's because I have the Mexico, Canada, US map available, so that's the difference in this context at least. But, how are we in fuel? We're good in fuel. Excellent. I wasn't sure. But the 550 horsepower engine's pretty good. It's pretty solid. Like, this isn't a super heavy load in this case, but it's definitely getting the job done. It didn't have any problems floating gears or anything like that. Once you kind of get used to, like, once you get used to, like, where the RPMs have to be for floating gears, it's not so bad. But I'm not an expert by a long shot, but it is, it gets easier as you get used to it more. And I haven't done it in a while, but I do love this game. Like, every time I come back to it and play it, I'm like, it's so good. I don't know, like, some people don't understand the game, though. It's interesting, because, like, I know a few people are like, ugh, just, you're playing American Truck Simulator, as opposed to, like, you know, Farm Sim, for example. I don't know, I just, I like trucks, I guess, I don't know. At least transport trucks. I find that sometimes, like, pickup trucks can get a little ridiculous sometimes. Because in my mind, a pickup truck is for, like, work use. And if someone has a pickup truck for non-work use, it just seems strange sometimes. Like, I had a buddy who had an F-150 a crew cab, but he was the only, he lived by himself. He doesn't work on a construction site. Like, there's no reason to have a truck at all. So it was really funny when he came home the one day with it. I was like, okay, whatever, man. Like, it was a nice truck. Don't get me wrong. Like, it was one of those, like, you know, really nice trucks, but it just seemed a little out of place for a downtown or like an in-town driver, so at least that's how I felt. We're still cruising at 95 kilometers an hour. Got no problems here. Let's go on the outside lane here. Get away from these people who are doing brake checks. Is that guy not going to let us in? No. Okay. Well, we're going to make our way into that lane then, buddy. There we go. Oh, of course. I need a turn. Well, luckily that was easier than I thought it was going to be. Oh, that's totally not the right. Oh, no, that was the right thing. Go figure. Alright, let's take a quick look at the map right here. Can I go this way? You can, but it's a little out of the way. Just a tinsy-wincy bit. Apparently. That's what happens when you don't pay attention to the map. There we go. Drop it down to 6th gear. And we can't really turn around, so we have to just keep going straight, basically. The GPS will eventually adjust. Oh, goodness. Looks like rush hour traffic. What time is it? 1 o'clock? Maybe it's the lunchtime rush then. Alright, well, this is what happens when you're not paying attention. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to put waypoints here, because it wants me to turn around, I'm sure. So let's go here, And then, yeah, that works. A little out of the way, but hey, that's fine. These things happen sometimes, especially when it's me. Wouldn't be the first time I've done that, that's for sure. Yes, we want to take this. Drop down to 7th here. Could probably go down to 5th too. So like, one thing to note is if you're gonna float gears, is take off, toggle or untoggle your engine brake. There we go. Of course you would change lights. Ah well. Gives the chance to admire the truck. Looks pretty good. Just wait on this car here. First gear. There we go. Excellent. It's funny, you can actually hear the engine. Oops. When you're supposed to change, if you're paying attention, of course. But I guess you get to a certain point where you can like kind of tell where you're supposed to be changing the gears, in terms of like floating at least, because I find it's a bit different than it's a bit different when you're floating gears as opposed to just changing gears, I find. Oh, it's green. Now is it going to stay green for us to get to the light? Well, we're not stopping now. There we go. Nice. It's really going to make us make this ridiculous turn here? Can't we just go straight? Yeah, we're just going to go straight. It's probably easier than making all those ridiculous turns. If I had to guess, at least. Well, of course, we have to be careful driving too quickly, though. Because we're in town, and I'm doing like 60 kilometers already, which is a little bit too quick. Too fast. I guess there might be more lights this way, though. We'll see. We shall see if there's more lights, but... I don't know, that steering knob... Not a big fan of that so far. And I may change, well, I definitely will change it in the future. That's what it looks like in the back. Oh, you can actually see the trailer back there too, that's neat. Looks pretty good. Almost. Go ahead, light. Those are the air horns, okay. I thought the air horns were a bit better, but maybe they're not. So we're going straight. But it's a yellow light, of course. I guess if I turned left back there, it might have been quicker in terms of not getting so many lights, but... Lights versus... making lots of turns with the truck? I don't know. I think I'd go straight rather than taking lots of turns, but that's just me. It's a nice Caterpillar there. I don't know if it actually says cat on the side. Oh, it does. Wasn't sure if I was going to or not. There we go. Nice. What do you think of the 389 so far? Do you think it's, is it worthy, so to speak? So far, I'm actually pleased with it. I think it could use more chrome, or the way the chrome looks could be a bit different, but that's what happens when you get used to it being a certain way, at least, so. And I do have air brake simulation, so I would like to know, can you see what that says up there? No, not really. Not easily, at least. Oh, there it is. So, there's your air pressure right there. See that one moving down? I was wondering if that was the one. It's hard to tell sometimes, because like in real life you would be able to like look forward, and they did thankfully they added that feature, because that makes doing what I just did way easier. But we're turning left. Let's get into this lane over here. It makes doing what I just did way easier, but before you couldn't do that. Are we turning left here? No, of course not. It looks like we're turning left here. Luckily no one's coming, so red light signal. That's probably like the most illegal thing you can do. Oh, I'm in the left turn lane. It's going to go through a red light and move out of my lane. Oh well. This is why we play the game, though, as opposed to in real life. Like in real life, that would be a pretty big problem if you did that in real life. Let's get across these lights here. So we're taking a left turn up here on back onto the highway. There we go. Taking a wide turn. Nice. It's supposed to be a merging lane. I don't know how merging is stopping, but I'm just gonna do this. We'll be able to actually get into the lane then. Hopefully the rescale, actually, as far as I can understand, from what I've seen at least, the rescale is coming pretty soon. Which is actually really good. So, I'm really pleased about that. That they've actually kind of touched on it a little bit at least. I'm just grinding all the gears today. What's the expression in English? If you can't find them, grind them. So, well, that is that's for sure. So, it's fine. Didn't we just get on the highway? Now we're getting off the highway again. What's going on here? It's got not a bad engine brake sound there. Let's just coast up the hill. Just sneak past this guy. There we go. Yeah, that's right. You gotta stop. Oh, a nice concrete truck there. Nice. We're going around this area. Now we're getting back onto the main highway. It looks like, at least. It's a never-ending story, apparently. We still have 524 kilometers to go. And I have to try not to speed. We're in town again. I don't know, I always find it kind of strange the way the way the speeds change. Hopefully with the rescale change, we'll see a big improvement in that area, but I don't know. Turning right here. Drop it down in the low gears. Yes, it's nice to see some 389s out there too. I'm not even gonna try and sneak past this guy. That's not gonna work here at all. It'd be nice, but go, 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 go. It's a green light! Is he turning left? I bet he is turning left. Of course you're turning left. Anytime now, buddy. The joys of traffic. This is why we subjected ourselves to this in the game as opposed to in real life. Although we do have the realistic traffic mod installed, which does make a bit of a difference here. So like the way they act is a bit different than in the normal AI, so that might be part of it. 1 second, get a quick water break here. There's a Tesla there. Can you see that? Thank you, finally. Thought we'd never get on our way there, jeez. Oh man. Sometimes when the AI has to turn left, it's just like, really? That's just what you're gonna do to turn left? I don't know, I guess in real life some people aren't super aggressive, but I feel like sometimes the AI should be a bit more aggressive. But it's not always. So, say I love you, I suppose. Alright. Alright. So, there was a long pause there between the two, between when I paused there for a brief second. I don't know if you realized that or not. Maybe you did, who knows. But anyways, it's one of those random things. So that's why it's like a totally unrelated thought. Anyways, these things happen. Alright, so we got about another 450 kilometers to go left in this journey on this external contract. Like I said before, there are some new achievements associated with external contracts, so it's definitely worth your time. I don't know if you get any, what the rewards are, or if there's any kind of specific reward, or achievement I should say. I don't know if you unlock certain like paint jobs and stuff like that. That'd be kind of cool if they did that. That would be kind of interesting. I don't know, I'm not much of an achievement hunter. Like, I know about the achievements, and that's why I just happened to do an external contract, because it's like, well, might as well, like, gonna do a quick little journey, might as well do an external contract. So the only one downfall, I guess, in this context is the fact that I can't go to like Canada in this context, or Eastern United States. So there we go. Doesn't light up the same way the other one does, but that's because it doesn't have the internal light. So overall, though, I'm pretty pleased with this. I'm pretty pleased with this truck. The chrome looks good on the outside, like when you're outside the truck, but when you're inside the truck, it doesn't look as good. At least that's kind of like my feeling, though. Like the chrome looks much better outside. So like if I'm looking at this right here, like it looks good there, but inside the truck it just looks gray, not like chrome. So I don't know if that's just because it might just be the lighting. Who knows, too, right? So in the game, it's kind of a cloudy day, so perhaps that's part of the reason. I don't know. So nice little mountains over there, or whatever that might be. I'm not even sure. I guess, are we heading into Arizona? I don't know. If I had to guess, I'd say we were, but it's hard to say sometimes. I haven't seen a sign, or haven't noticed a sign yet, but I don't know, maybe we're in the Arizona Valley or something. I don't know. I really don't know the United States. I don't know the United States. I don't know the United States very well in general. I know maybe New York State, and that's because that's probably one of the closest states to Ontario, but even then, I don't know it like super well. It's more of just like I know some general things in the area. But I know the fishing's good in New York State, actually. In upstate New York, I think it's trout fishing is really good there. But outside that, my knowledge kind of lacks. And that's because I'm not from the United States, partially at least. It's partially that, and partially the fact that I'm not a historian or a geographer, I guess. So knowing some of the details aren't necessarily something I would know offhand unless I was going to go out of my way to learn it. So, well. But yeah, I think overall, do the buttons work? Let's take a quick little peek here. No, looks like that doesn't do anything. I'm turning on, if you're wondering what I was doing there, I was turning on and off my engine brake, like toggling it on and off. So like what will happen is, like, at least not in this one, but in the 389 Viper edition, you'll see a little button that toggles on and off. So maybe we'll see that in the future, I don't know. I know the steering knob, for example, is pretty illegal in Canada. I don't think you're allowed to have that if you're going on the road. I think the only scenario when you can have it, I think, is when you're on a tractor, maybe. But I don't know about anything outside that. I honestly would have to double check the rules associated with that. But I think they call it a suicide knob, maybe, or something. I think that's what. Not sure. Like I said, I'd have to look that up. But I don't know. Overall, it's a good truck. I like it. I wish it was a bit lighter on the inside. It feels a bit dark sometimes. But it might be my graphic settings. I'm going to double check that after this because it feels a bit darker on the inside, and I just might, like I said, it might just be the graphic settings associated with it. So who knows? But 550 horsepower is more than enough for this truck. With the 18-speed Eaton Fuller gearbox, it's pretty solid. At least that feels pretty solid. Like, you can get. I have like another mod that I have. It adds like different gearboxes, so like different gear ratios. But I don't notice the difference. Like well, it's not true. I do notice the difference, but it's not like a super significant difference. I suppose if you were hauling like really heavy stuff, maybe, or really light stuff, you might notice the difference a bit more. But with this truck, with this particular transmission, it seems to be fine. Doesn't seem super necessary, is what I'm trying to say. Depending how realistic and how crazy you want to get, I suppose. It may or may not be helpful. But I think there's some of the achievements are stuff like, getting from A to B. Usually it's over 200 kilometers, is like kind of 200 or 300 kilometers seems to be the minimum in a lot of cases. There's some ones associated with perfect deliveries. There's some ones associated with traveling across. I think there's one where it's like traveling across the United States or something like that, or border crossing, where you have to do like a certain number. No, it's a certain number of external contracts in ETS and ATS, which is kind of cool. Transcontinental, I think maybe is the achievement, which is kind of neat. They added that, like, so it's like you have to do a little bit of both in both games. Because like for me, I basically only play American Truck Simulator now. That's just me though. But there are lots and lots of people who only play ETS still. To put it in perspective, right? Alright, now it's super bright here. That's kind of bizarre. Alright, let's go down into the lower gears. There we go. Yeah, so for example, like Farmer Beavis, he only plays ETS right now. I don't think he even owns ATS. That's just the way it goes though, right? Excellent. But for me, for example, like I only play ATS right now. I could easily go back to ETS, but I would use one of the European trucks just because I have this American truck in this game, so to speak. They're stopping again. What's going on here? It's clear. Go, 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 go. It's not going to be clear for much longer if they don't go. Merging. Merging is a problem in this game sometimes. Is that truck gonna scoot by? Cube van? There's another cube van, looks like. Looks like a GMC, actually. There. It's like, can the car go now? There he goes. That was a bit sneaky, I suppose, but got awfully dark awfully quickly. There we go. Yeah, see, that's so crazy how dark it seems now. Yeah, it went from like being bright and now it's like super dark. Maybe if we get over this hill it'll change, and I suspect it will. But I don't think, maybe, we'll see what happens actually, I don't know. What's with the stopping? There we go. Nope, still dark. I wasn't sure. I was like, well, maybe it'll get lighter on the other side, but apparently not. One of these days I'll have to get track IR, so it'll be nice for this game as well as for I guess Farm Sim now, really. Well, I don't know. It's hard to say whether it'd be necessary. Like I know people who have track IR and they don't really attach it at all for Farm Sim, which is kind of interesting when you think about it. Because you think because it's enabled in the game, you would want to actually use it, but apparently it's not as great as we think it is. Not for farm sim at least, because like it only affects you when you're in the cab, right? If you're outside the cab, it doesn't make a difference at all. But I don't know. When you're in third person, I don't. As far as I know, it doesn't affect anything. So it's kind of like, well, all right, I guess that's okay. So only 80. Oh, not even 80 kilometers. 50 kilometers left on this journey here. This truck's slowing down on me for some reason. I'm assuming there's a speed change coming up. Otherwise, why else would they slow down like that? Yep. They're changing lanes apparently. Alright, got our turn coming up here, close to Phoenix. Yep, definitely in Arizona. Alright, where's the turn? Here it is. There we go. Drop it down into fifth. Go into third. See if we can't make this turn. We're not stopping now. Here we go. Safely made that turn. Surprisingly, actually. I totally thought we were going to get dinged with a ticket there, but I think in a lot of cases that's what you do in that context, because you're going up a hill and you're in a truck, so you can't really exactly, like, you know, stop very quickly, right? So eventually, when I have enough money in this game, I'm going to go ahead and change all of my trucks over to 389s. I know that seems extreme, but that's the way I do things in the game. I don't know why. I'll progress. So what will usually happen is I'll have like all the same truck, so they'll all be driving 389s or 589s or whatever it happens to be. I just like the way these trucks look better, so where's the turn up here? It's somewhere up here, although I can't really tell. Oh, nope, that's not it. Oh, here it is. 25 kilometers. Let's put our high beams on here. Where's the actual area? Is it in this? Looks like it's in this little area back here up on the right. At Walmart. Gotta love this music. Yeah, there it is. There we go. I didn't think we were gonna make it in there. There we go. That should be good. Let's see. Yes. Perfect. Park and brake. Detach. Let's see. Synchronizing world of trucks. Good work. We must have dinged something. Apparently I've only completed three contracts. Okay, that's fine. Excellent. All right, folks, that'll be it from your day. Hope you enjoyed this episode of American Truck Simulator. I know I did. If you like what you saw, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for some more American Truck Simulator. Also, leave a comment below with what you'd like to see me haul next. My name's Iain Robson again. Catch you guys later.